Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's your boy Pup back with the semifinals, actually, of the Bronze PPL NX Stage 2. We skipped the quarterfinals because we're just goated like that after winning in the Octo Finals, I guess that's what they called it. But yeah, we were facing off against Incog M. So make sure you go check them out. They have a very, very scary team. Oh, man, I didn't change their name on the thing. I swear it's Incog M. Will was who we played last week, but they are 2-3 -1. I'm 1-4 -8. So tough season for me. They had a little bit of a better season, but just missed out on making silver. And honestly, weren't that far away from gold as well. But they have a very, very scary team. Palafin, Chi-Yu, King Gambit, Zapdos, Ursaluna, geez, Mew, Umbreon, Pheasant Skibidi, Orthworm, Chestnut. Yeah, it's going to be a really, really tough time for me here. Man, I messed up a lot of stuff on this, but whatever. Doesn't matter. We're just going to go with it. So yeah, they have a lot of really, really scary stuff. I'm mostly worried about the Palafin, man. That is a scary Pokemon. Also, Ursaluna can be just super crazy because I don't have a switch into like a Facade if they are Guts boosted. A lot of my Pokemon do outspeed and I can do a lot of damage to it, but it's very, very scary. So I have to be careful about it. I also am slightly worried about the Zapdos. I don't really have great answers to that because I don't have a ground type on my team. And I'm not bringing a ground type Terra. So, I mean, we'll see what happens with all of that. But yeah, it's going to be a very scary matchup. Let's just get right into what I'm bringing. First of all, we're starting off with a Sui and Samurott Assault Vested. So I should be able to take hits from the Chi-Yu. I can swap in and I can click Aqua Jet to KO them every single time. I can also just, click Ceaseless to get some spikes up. Razor Shell, Aerial Ace for the Chestnut if they do bring it. Although I don't think they will, but they definitely could if they want to. But I think the Samurott is going to be really nice. Spikes look incredible versus them because they have no remover at all. They have 0 removal. So I'm assuming we might see a lot of boots from them, but if not, then we're just going to be in a really, really great spot if we set up any sort of hazards with this guy. Then we have a Minior Terra Fighting on this guy. I don't anticipate tearing, but I can. It deals with the Ursaluna, with the Orthworm, mostly the Orthworm. Also deals with the King Gambit, deals with the Umbreon, can deal with the Chi-Yu as well, although we have other moves for that. We're running fully special this week just because, I mean, Orthworm does not take any damage to physical attacks at all. So even if I don't tear it, like a Power Gem versus that thing at +2 actually does quite a bit of damage. I mean, they're going to be able to do a lot back to me, but I'm at least going to be able to get a lot on them. It's also nice to have Terra Fighting, so I am not weak to the Jet Punch on Palafin. I do expect Choice Banded, but we'll see what actually comes this week. But I think this Pokemon can go absolutely crazy. It, one-shots a lot of Pokemon on their team with the special variant. Only thing I don't know. If I Terra this thing, I could just straight up win, actually. It really depends on that Palafin, though, in the back. Then we have a Gouging Fire. We are Lumberry, so we can't get poisoned by Pheasantipity, so I can set up on that thing. I can't get poisoned by Umbreon, so I can set up on that thing. Can't get poisoned by T-Spike Mew, which I think could be very scary. Can't get paralyzed by the Zapdos or anything like that, so I don't have to worry. But yeah, we have Dragonance, Flare Blitz, Outrage. I don't worry too much about Outrage because Pheasantipity can't really do too much to me if they switch in. And then Flare Blitz is just really, really strong. I mean, both Flare Blitz and Outrage are really great here. I hope this Pokemon does a lot of work. It definitely can. We're going to have to be a little bit careful. I can play around King Gambit with Dragonance and Morning Sun on the Sucker Punches. And, I should have enough bulk to be able to eat a couple hits from Palafin. So hopefully I'll be in a decent spot with Gouging. Then we have a Terra Water Hitmontop, which is going to be my primary Terra Captain for the week. I'm built very defensively with 200 defense, 208 HP, but an Adamant nature. So I have a lot of damage with Rapid Spin. Mach Punch, especially for the King Gambit, is really nice. And if they run Define, oh well, we're Intimidate anyways. But we're mostly here for the Palafin. They cannot touch me at all. And with the leftovers, I just get all my HP back. I just need to make sure I Terra early. But Intimidate would get rid of, like, if they're a Choice Band, they'll get rid of that boost. If they're special, then they're not as big of a threat to me. I mean, it still is a threat, but not as big of a threat. And then we can just threaten that thing by clicking Fake Out, click Mach Punch versus them. We're not Technicians, so it's not going to do the crazy amount of damage. But if they're like Banded, if they're not Boots, especially, then we're going to be able to cycle them with all the hazards, all the spikes that we're going to be getting up with Samurott. And that's really the game plan for this week, is just cycle them out. So it's also nice to have a little bit of priority to deal with something like the Chi-Yu if we're worried about that. Can also deal with Ursaluna late in the game if we need that as well. So it's a really great Pokemon in this matchup. We also have a Thundy Tea here with a Citrus Berry, so I can get a Nasty Plot off on, you know, a lot of stuff on their team and potentially still be out of range of Jet Punch from Palafin is the idea with this guy. And with T-Bolt, Grass Knot, Psychic, I honestly just destroy their entire team. +2 Thunderbolt knocks out like a Chi-Yu. It knocks out offensive Zapdos, but if they have any chip, it'll just knock them out. It does a ton to King Gambit. Grass Knot destroys Ursaluna. T-Bolt destroys the Orthworm. Psychic destroys Pezandipity and the Chestnut. Thunderbolt can do a ton to the Umbreon, and I can plot in their face, and I also do a lot to Mew. So this Pokemon can absolutely break through their entire team. They have no great answers for it. I'm just max speed timid with you know, no defense, just all attack, man. We're just going straight for it. And then last but not least on my squad is going to be a Focus Sash Azelf. Hate that we can't see the items on there. My stupid code, I haven't fixed it yet. It's been weeks, and I just don't feel like doing it. But yeah, we are an Azelf here. Stealth Rock, Flamethrower, Psychic, and U-Turn. Flamethrower is for the Orthworm. Psychic is fine for everything else. Well, I guess Flamethrower for the King Gambit as well. Psychic is great for everything else except for the Umbreon, which I can U-Turn out on. But Stealth Rocks is the important part of this set. If I'm able to get those rocks up, then I feel a lot better about this game. Because either I'm forcing them to be boots on basically every Pokemon on their team, or I can just outlast them. I feel like I can outlast this team pretty well. I actually think I have a very solid matchup into this squad, so I'm very, very happy to get matched up into it. It can go bad though. I think Mew can be super scary if it sets up, even if it sets up like T-Spikes or something like that. That can be super cringe. Palafin's scary. Chi-Yu's obviously super scary. I don't see myself straight up losing to anything else on their squad, but it can get very, very scary very easily. Yeah, hopefully you guys do enjoy this battle. It was a really, really fun one. But yeah, let's see if we're going to be able to push our way to the finals. What is good, everyone? It's your boy Pup. We are back with the semifinals of the PPL NX. We're in the bronze bracket because I did terribly in the regular season, well, stage 2, whatever. Facing off against Incog M. He's going to be in the ICP with us that we're drafting for right now. They didn't bring the Orthworm, then their only Terra Captain is that Terra Fairy Umbreon, which is fine. It's not the best. Minior looks absolutely insane here with Terra Fighting. It's just great versus their entire team, basically. Being special, I think, is really nice as well. Maybe not like versus the Umbreon if they do choose to Terra that Pokemon. I do have Rock's capabilities with my Azelf. They have no hazard removers, I think. I don't think Zapdos... I'm pretty sure Zapdos doesn't have Defog at this point. So they are maybe running a bunch of heavy-duty boots, but it is what it is. I really don't mind. We're just going to lead off with my Azelf. I might choose to just attack if they lead with Palafin. But, you know, we'll see what we do. They did bring, like, Double Dark, so it's a little bit tough for me. But if they do go something like Gambit, we do a Flamethrower for that Pokemon. So I'm not super duper worried. And I mean, they might be Defiant. Is our guy Intimidate in the back? Yes, we are Intimidate him on top. So can be scary against Defiant there. I do assume we see Supreme Overlord, but who knows? But let me see if we see Palafin on lead. They can just like straight up one-shot me with a Banded Wave Crash, but I am Focus Sash, so we don't care. And then like with Psychic, I might just knock him out anyways. They're going to lead with a Zapdos. That's a little surprising. I can't say that that's exactly what I expected in this scenario. I think we just set up our Stealth Rocks here for free. And I play with hazards. They definitely have to have some heavy-duty boots. Which is a little bit tough for me. But it does still pressure them. It definitely does. I'm not knockoff on anything on my team, unfortunately. But it punishes stuff like Scarf Chi-Yu or, you know, anything like that. And, you know, it can help me chip down like Umbreon and everything too. They're just going to T-Bolt. We get to see how much this does. It does over half. Oh, and they pair me. Yeah, that's exactly what I expected. That is what I expected. They did a lot of damage. I will say that. They did what? 172 or something like that. So it might just mean no attack. When I'm paralyzed, I'm definitely slower than this guy, which sucks so much, man. Just a terrible turn of events from the very start. I think I just have to sack this guy off. I will just click Psychic because I do a ton of damage to them, as they are just going to T-Bolt me again. And we're going to get rid of my Azelf for nothing because they get 10% and get a little bit lucky there, which sucks. That is absolutely terrible. I can go out to something like my Minior and just straight up Shell Smash in their face if I wanted to. If I go Minior, a T-Bolt versus me in my defense form, they actually never knock me out or anything like that anyways. So I think I just go Minior. You know, try to break through their team a decent bit. I could potentially see them having Mirror Herb on their squad. I don't think that the chance that they do is like super great, right? So I think we just Shell Smash. There's no need to Terra at this point. I'm just going to straight up Shell Smash. And hopefully we'll be okay with this. If they T-Bolt me, they should do about 70 to 85%, 73 to 86 is what I'm seeing maybe. Depending on, you know, their investment. They're definitely not max attack, as they do just straight up raw T-Bolt me. They do bring me down to core form. We're going to get the Shell Smash off, so we're +2/+2. And, I mean, I just click Power Gem into this guy. And hope that they are especially defensive, and not physically. But, okay. I think we should be okay. Even if they're especially defensive, I'm pretty sure we knock them out. Let me just make sure. If they're calm, it's 81% chance. So, I mean, we should be okay here. I'm just going to click Power Gem. Obviously, they do have the Palafin in the back. That, you know, can just click Jet Punch versus me. Stuff like that. So, it's not the best scenario. I could potentially... Well, I can't sub because they got, like, a solid roll on me. Is what it is. I'm not complaining. I'm just trying to, you know, break down their team a little bit. This guy should pick up a KO here. Unless they're, like, going hard AV Pokemon. Maybe even hard King Gambit could be a little bit scary. Although, with Terra Fighting, we might live a Sucker Punch. King Gambit, Sucker Punch with Terra Fight. No, we don't. And Power Gem would not knock them out for sure. So maybe they just go King Gambit, which would be a great play by them. No, they're just going to sack it. That's great for me. The Zapdos goes down at least, so Minior is going to pick up something. Minior is going to do something for me. Hasn't really done too much in the last couple of times I've drafted it or used it. But, you know, still just a goated Pokemon for the channel. Love the Violet form here. It's so beautiful and majestic. Hope you guys understand. So what? We probably see Palafin, right? That's what I would expect. We can see Jet Punch from them. It does potentially give me opportunity to go out and get my rocks up, or my spikes up, with my Samurott. I also could go Thundy after the fact and just click like Nasty Plot versus them. I do have the speed. I do have the speed to outrun most of their team. I am a little bit worried about exactly what happens as they bring in the Gambit here, which is fine. I think it probably makes sense for me to swap out here because the Sucker Punch is so obvious, right? The Sucker Punch, I mean, it has to come out. I know I'm Intimidate and they can be Defiant. I was going to say I don't think it matters that much, but it probably does now that I think about it, right? I could go Gouging, right? Let me just look at this. Mach Punch does just over 50% to no HP. If I go Gouging, though, then I just get like a free Flare Blitz off the next turn. I'm just going to do it. They know this Pokemon is such a big threat that they cannot afford to not click the button. I could easily be Earth Power. You know, they're just Sucker Punching. Yeah. Obviously, they're Sucker Punching that turn. They can be T-Wave, which I do have to respect for sure. Because if I do get a Dragon Dance up, I can win, potentially. I mean, do I just go for it? Try to do as much as I can? Because if they're not T-Wave, then I can just beat this guy. I could also just Flare Blitz. And if Umbreon comes out, potentially to KO that Pokemon, I'm gonna go for Flare Blitz here. As they do stay in, this thing should just straight up die. No, they're very bulky. A lot more than I would expect. They have a lot of defense investments. But Kowtow really does nothing. So I'm just going to Morning Sun this turn. Maybe Dragon Dance, actually. I think Morning Sun's just a little bit better. Yeah, they're going to Sucker, which is great for me. And honestly, I can freely Morning Sun. Against Umbreon, I'm just curious. +2 Flare Blitz, if they're calm, has a chance to knock them out. Foul Play would do a million at that percent, though. I'm going to Dragon Dance once here. They might see it as my opportunity to do it. They're just going to Sucker. That's great. I can Dragon Dance as much as I want, really. I think I do just go for one Dragon Dance. And then predict kind of a swap on this turn, or they're just going to attack me. I think I just Flare Blitz here. Because another Dragon Dance would just be so detrimental for their team. They have to make some sort of play here, I think. I don't think Sucker Punch comes out. If they do, it's whatever. It really is. It's not that big of a deal. I wonder to Chi-Yu, if we do get rocks damage on them, then we do knock them out, which is great. But also if they're Choice Scarf, then they're gonna outrun me. Okay, perfect. So we catch them on the Sucker there. So Gambit goes down. We're at full HP +1/+1, which is great. Chi-Yu, if their Choice Scarf, Dark Pulse doesn't knock me out. If not, if I see that they're Heavy Duty Boots, I might just Dragon Dance again. So then I do knock them out. Maybe. It's a interesting situation there. I don't think I'm going to sweep with this Pokemon because they do have Palafin in the back, but they haven't gotten it up yet. So maybe. Really wishing I was like Dragon Claw in this game. So they do go out to the Umbreon here. Okay. Umbreon, they do take some rocks. And at +1. It's interesting here, right? It's very interesting because I can go for a second Dragon Dance and get this Pokemon out of the game by Flare Blitzing them the next turn. If they Foul Play, they're obviously going to do a lot to me. I can also just Flare Blitz twice, which I think is probably just a little bit safer. So I'm going to go for Flare Blitz. If they Toxic me, that's great. But I'm just going to get as much damage as possible on this guy. Yeah, we do so much. We do so much, and they just Foul Play. This should do about 50%. Yeah. And then what I kind of feel like Morning Sunning this turn, if they Protect to try to make me take some extra damage, it would put me in a great spot. I don't know. I think just Flare Blitz is better. If they Protect, that's fine. They don't. So we're going to take out the Umbreon as well. And we shouldn't die to the recoil here. I don't think. I think we should live this. Just barely. Yeah, we do. Perfect. So now they probably go out to the Palafin. We can swap out to my Hitmontop. Clark Kent. Yeah, that's going to be the Palafin. I'm going to go out to Hitmontop because I have the chance to just get this Pokemon back up healthy later in the game. So I'm going to go out to my Intimidate Pokemon here. We probably just see the Jet Punch. If we see Flip Turn or something, that's okay. Even Wave Crash, it won't 2-hit KO me. Even if they're Adamant Choice Banded at this position. So, should be okay there. I can get Chip on them if I'd like by clicking Fake Out. So, do Intimidate. And they're going to Jet Punch. How much does that do? 73. So, that would be... That's actually just a straight up max roll from Adamant Band. What would they go out to here? Potentially the Mew. I think doubling out to Samurott here is just a very good play. So I'm going to go for it. If they do want to stay in or something like that, that's okay. I don't think that they have any reason to stay in here. I think just going out to the Mew would be their best case scenario. Yeah, they do withdraw. As I go Samurott. Yeah, this is Mew for sure. Perfect. Okay. Awesome. They're going to take some hazards. I'm just going to Ceaseless Edge. And depending on how defensive they are, they might be able to take 2. They are leftovers, so they're not, like, I don't have to worry about weakness policy. It might be Dragon Ants, which I would have to worry about, but I get this free Ceaseless right here. I really clawed back a bad position off the rip. They're just going to knock off my Assault Vest. Does not that much damage. We're going to get a Spike Up, which is great, and that's a lot of damage as well, man. That is just a lot of damage. They're not defensive for sure. I still don't think that we knock them out here with our Aqua Jet. I mean, it does 16 to 19%, but if we get an extra Spike Up, that makes a world of difference versus that Palafin. So I'm going to just straight up go for it here. I think it makes the most sense. If there's something like Focus Blast, if there's something like Thunderbolt or something, they might be able to knock me out. Let me see something like Thunderbolt here. I mean, I don't have my Assault Vest anymore. I should always live, really. I think I'll be okay here in this position. I keep my Aqua Jet in the back for Chi-Yu. We still don't know if they're heavy duty boots or if they're Scarf/Specs. And if they are Scarf or Specs, then Samurott should be able to clean that Pokemon. They're going to Super Fang. That's quite interesting. We do hit the Ceaseless, which is great. We're going to get double Spikes and a Stealth Rock. So Aqua Jet actually does not straight up pick up the KO, but that's okay. That is okay. It's not great, but it's okay. They're going to go out to the Palafin here. We know that this thing is Choice Banded. They're going to take a lot of damage from spikes and everything here. I really want to keep this Pokemon alive for the Aqua Jet in the back. So I think we just go out and sack the Minior off here. I think that's got to be our play every time. I mean, I guess we could have sacked the other guy. Because Minior is faster than Chi-Yu. Probably would have been in my best interest as they Drain Punch. Okay. Yeah, definitely just went about that a little bit too quickly. But they have this Palafin out. We're going to go Hitmontop. They are locked into Drain Punch. I mean, I could even go Thunderous, right? I can go Thunderous while they're locked into Drain Punch. If I go out to Thunderous, I mean, I'm just clicking T-Bolt and picking up a KO. I know they're Choice Banded, right? So I just go Thundy, and I click T-Bolt. Drain Punch doesn't do that much, and I get so much damage off on them at this point. And if they sack the Chi-Yu, then I just get to Intimidate Cycle them. I Terra Water, I Fake Out, and just cycle them. Sack off everything. And secure the win with Hitmontop. I mean, it does risk crits and everything. But, I mean, it's going to be tough either way. We know this guy's Adamant Banded, right? We definitely... Okay, they go Chi-Yu. I'm curious if this thing is going to take hazards or not. I'm very curious. As they do. Awesome. This thing should just die then. Maybe not. They might. Who knows? We're going to get a nasty T-Bolt. As they don't die. If they're Scarf. If they are Choice Scarf, Overheat does knock me out right now. So should I go out to Gouging Fire? Sack off the Gouging Fire. Yeah. I go Gouging Fire here. We want to keep the Thunderous alive. So I go Gouging Fire, then I go Samu, and I click Aqua Jet until I die. They're just going to Flamethrower, which I'm pretty sure I would have lived with Thunderous. It's a roll, so I think I did the right choice there. We just go Samurott now. We just, for free, go Samu. I just click Aqua Jet every single time. They can't swap, so Samu's going to pick that one up. They're going to go out to the Palafin. And they have to lock themselves into Wave Crash, I think. I mean, they can potentially lock themselves into Drain Punch, but then Thundy wins on the spot. Right? Do I get the extra chip damage with Aqua Jet here? I think so. If they drain, it could be bad. But I think just jetting them is my best idea here. We'll see if they wave crash. We're going to get some chip. If they drain, we're okay. Yeah, they drain. Okay. So now I just go Thundy, right? Thundy comes in. I'm always faster. Even if they were Jolly Banded, which I know they're not, I'm always faster. Thunderbolt always knocks them out. So we're going to go to the finals of this division, which is great. I did not expect it, but I think I played a lot better than my record shows throughout the, the first part. I think I played quite well and just didn't have the best games go in my favor. We're going to take this one. Great game to my opponent. Make sure you guys go check them out along with all the other PPL NX coaches. This guy's also going to be in the ICP when we come back for the second season. But yeah, nice 2-0 victory for your boy. Hope you guys do enjoy. Please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. See you guys in the next one. Peace.